Could I interrupt you?
Sure.
I'm Ed Rontaler. We're shooting a video to help people become aware of the irregularities in English spelling and the harm that they are doing to a large percentage of the population. 40 million people have trouble with English spelling and are handicapped in their lives and can't get good jobs. And I'd like to show you some of the irregularities of English spelling that most people aren't aware of.
Sure.
How right is our writing? When the English tongue we speak, why does break not rhyme with freak? Cow is cow, but low is low. Shoe will never rhyme with foe. Beard sounds not the same as herd. Chord conflicts with English word. Think of hose and dose and lose. Also goose, forget not use. Ache sounds nothing like mustache. Put the blame on the spelling's hash. Have you heard? It may be true. Men can sew with stitches few. As you read our wretched verse, be prepared to curse or worse. Kids must memorize this stuff. Sounding out is not enough. Shop and sure and even ocean. Issue, anxious, and devotion. Look at comb and womb and bomb. Doll and roll and dome and come. Since our say is rhymed with pay, should not said be rhymed with paid? As for F, physique and cuff, calf, sapphire, even rough. Journey, earning, stirred and erred, myrtle, further, worm and bird, auto, awful, salt and bought, awesome, dog, and broad and taught. We have blood and food and good. Mold is not pronounced like could. As to done and gone and loan, is there any reason known? To read and write, it seems to me, sounds and letters should agree, as they do in other languages.
English has 42 sounds, written in over 400 different ways.
Wow.
Here they are.
Didn't know that much.
Short A is spelled in 6 different ways. Long A, spelled in 23 different ways. The sound R, 9 different ways. The vowel sound air, 11 different ways. The vowel sound broad A, 9 different ways. The short E sound eh. The long vowel sound E. The short I sound I. The long I sound. The long terminal I. The short O. The long O. The long terminal O. The short U. Long U. Long oo. Short ow, terminal ow, all, terminal all, oi, or, stressed, unstressed, cur, schwa, 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 Now the consonants. The B sound is spelled in 4 ways. K, D, F, G, H, J, L, M, N, P, R, S, T, V, W, Y, Z, Ch, Sh, and the Z sound 10 different ways.
There they are. The key to regularized spelling is that the long vowels, the sounds A, E, I, O, U, are all written A-E as in make, E-E as in seat, IE as in light, OE as in home, UE as in cute. Now, if you'll remember that, anytime you see an E with a vowel in front of it, pronounce it like the name of the vowel, A, E, I, O, or U. And at the end, they're just I and O. Now, if you can bear that in mind, you can read this. You haven't seen this before, this Mark Twain page, have you?
No, I have not.
All right, begin to read it.
I will do my best. The first time I was in Egypt, a simplified spelling epidemic had broken out, and the atmosphere was electric with feelings engendered by the subject. This was about 5,000 years ago. The simplifiers had risen in revolt against the hieroglyphics. An uncle of Cadmus, who was out of a job, had come to Egypt and was trying to introduce the Phoenician alphabet and get it adopted instead of the hieroglyphics. The simplifiers were few, the opposition were multitudinous. Among the simplifiers were many men of learning and distinction, mainly literary men and members of college faculties, but all ranks and conditions of men and all grades of intellect, scholarship, and ignorance were represented by the opposition. Uncle Cadmus began an object lesson with chalk on a culp of blackboards. On one of them he wrote in hieroglyphics, "At this time the king possessed of cavalry 214,580 men, 214,580 men, and 22,631 horses of infantry, 84,946 men, 37,264 transportation carts, 321 elephants, and 954 camels." It filled the board and required 26 minutes of time. Then he repeated it on another blackboard in Italian script and Arabic numerals and did it in 1 minute and a quarter. Then he said, "My argument is before you. One of the objections of the hieroglyphics is that it takes the brightest pupil 9 years to get the forms and their meanings by heart. It takes the rest of the nation all their days to accomplish it. It is a life sentence. If you will renounce the hieroglyphics and adopt written words instead, a tremendous advantage will be gained. By you? No, not by you. You have spent your lives in mastering the hieroglyphics, and to you they are simple, and the effect pleasant to the eye, and even beautiful. But I appeal to you in behalf of generations yet to come. Let your sons and daughters adopt the written words and the alphabet, and thus save millions of years of useless time and labor." The opposition rose and combated his reasoning in the usual way. Those people said that had long been accustomed to hieroglyphics and had dear and sacred memories about them, that they loved to sit on a barrel under an umbrella in the brilliant sun of Egypt and spell out the rabbits and eagles and alligators and sawteeth, and take an hour and a half to the Lord's Prayer and weep with romantic emotion at the thought that they had, at most, but 8 or 10 years between themselves and for the grave for the enjoyment of this ecstasy.
Now, you hadn't seen that before, had you?
No, never have.
Well, you see how you can read it. And if we wrote English this way, we would not have one in every 5 people unable to write and read above 4th grade.
That sounds wonderful, if we could prevent that.
We're developing a computer program that will automatically change anything you type into this spelling. And we would then have English written the way other languages are, where they